management so holistic and all involving. So I think we could make a beginning. Let this not be the end of our panel discussions, okay? And let us continue through on the platform of ASSOCHAM. I'm extremely happy to have been, a part of these discussions, and it has given me a lot of idea and more optimism than what I generally am to be part of these panel discussions.
So thank you all for
thank you very much. Thank you.
Also giving us a heads up for working together again and taking this forward. Thank you, ASSOCHAM, for giving us all a chance to talk and discuss. And look forward to meeting you all again in Delhi very soon. Bye bye.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyaji. Thank you so much. So, friends, our Honorable Minister Satyendar Jain ji is joining us in 5 minutes in any time. So, I would request all the attendees to please stay with us. He is in another meeting, and that meeting has been extended. So, he is just joining us. Meanwhile, we have with us Architect Vijay Garg ji, Chairman, Delhi State Expert Appraisal Committee, Department of Environment, Government of NCT of Delhi. So, Vijay ji, if you can hear us, we would request you to please address the gathering. Meanwhile, the Honorable Minister is joining.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Neeraj ji. And it is wonderful to hear such a wonderful panelist and enlightening us about the facing issues of the water in Delhi. As we all know, Delhi is has a lot of water supply gap in terms of demand and supply. There are 25% of the water shortage in Delhi. And as Vishakha already told in the panel discussion that we have a lot of water which is not being reused, recycled, but not reused, put to reuse. So as Department of Environment, Government of NCT Delhi, and we are very concerned about such reuse of water in the projects where it can be made compulsory. So as an initiative of the environment or EIA clearances in Delhi, it has been made mandatory for all the projects, basically real estate projects. Large number of real estate projects are coming up in Delhi, and huge development is happening. So all fresh water is banned in Delhi to be used for construction purposes. It is only recycled water being supplied by treated water being supplied by Delhi Jal Board from its treatment plants, and if required, that can be trusted treated water for making is good for construction. It has been mandatorily made compulsory for all the projects in Delhi to use the treated water because so that the potable water demand can be reduced. And further, in all the projects, what we are trying to put at whether it is a hospital or a commercial mall or a hotel, that if we can use reuse the water which is produced in your campus for flushing purpose, for the purpose of horticulture and all such uses other than the potable where the potable water is required. So at least 40% of the water, fresh water demand can be reduced, 40 to 50%, and another 40% by recycle and reuse, and 10% can be used by using the efficient water facet, so that fixtures, so that potable water demand, which is 135 liters per person, can be reduced to say around 60-70. So we are looking at reducing the consumption of potable water to 50% as far as possible. And then it has been made compulsory for all the projects to put the rainwater usage, rainwater to be harvested within the project site or in the immediate vicinity, so that there is zero discharge of the rainwater flow happening in normal conditions on the roads or flooding the any command area. So idea is to the depleting water table, which is already been stated that it is 0.5 meter to 2 meter going level going down in last almost year by year in last few years, and we are looking at that the rainwater table, water table to be recharged at a speed by which we are extracting. So there's we need to maintain or the water stability in the underground water table to be recharged, and for that we are recommending that depending on the soil type, Delhi Jal Board has recommended various designs for different type of soils for the rainwater harvesting pits. So that is to be adopted in almost all the projects in Delhi, which is also made mandatory that you cannot discharge water into the sewerage system or preferably in the stormwater drains in the normal conditions. So you should be able to have adequate number of rainwater harvesting pits in all the projects so that the groundwater situation can be improved in Delhi. Then we are looking at sustainable development by taking measures by treating sewerage treatment plants, STPs at particular all the sites to be functional. It has been found that STPs have been installed in some big projects like hotels and hospitals, but half the time they are found to be non-functional. So we are recommending that the people should there should be adequate monitoring measure, and on the real-time basis it should be monitored by the environmental consultant or environmental manager appointed for in each project to look at all such possibilities, and continuous maintenance of STPs and working of the STPs is to be maintained. Then rainwater harvesting system has to be working and regularly cleaned. That is another area which has been ignored because people may install rainwater harvesting system, but half the time in the later it has been found that it is not used. And sometime when the rainwater harvesting system people make it in the beginning of the project, before start of the project, they instead of harvesting the rain, they are trying to extract the water. So that is also being checked, and we are trying to tell the people who are constructing such projects that you install the rainwater harvesting system once the project is operational and not at the beginning of the project. And at the beginning of the project, you should be able to, and then whatever water is being discharged should be treated at site and used. So for that, we are also recommending that there should be adequate amount of green building certification. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Audible, sir.
Yeah. So adequate amount of infrastructure to be created in terms of management of all such facilities which are created for managing the environmental solutions provided in particularly STPs, treating of wastewater, rainwater harvesting system, and particularly then again keeping the in terms of planning, the landscape areas need to be at least permeable surfaces where water can percolate. Even in parking, we have seen in Delhi, most of the places people have concretized the footpaths, and most of the places, even in the green areas, they have made it paved areas, etc. So we are trying to tell at least minimum 20 to 25% of the area should be kept as a permeable surface so that it helps in absorbing the water and percolating the water down to the ground, charging the recharge recharge of the water, the groundwater table. So, but that need to be enforced in a manner that the people like it, and that it doesn't harm and it doesn't pollute the underground water also. So we need to check how we can do it, because in parking areas particularly there is a huge potential, and the number and the kind of trees to be planted which can actually enhance the water absorption and water quality. So native trees to be planted, and that is also made mandatorily, that no cutting of the tree should be permitted as far as possible, and transplantation of trees, if required, to be done only in the nearby vicinity in the same ecological region. So that those kind of measures are put as a condition. And we are requesting all the projects which are coming in Delhi, which require environmental clearances, that they should go minimum 3 to 4 star GEM, ASSOCHAM GEM rating or Griha rating, so that it automatically take care of the efficiency of water being monitored on regular basis. And they should have these consultants regularly to make an annual assessment, so that not only they are planned, they are also monitored to the extent that the people are able to adhere to whatever has been provided and is actually implemented, and not just for the sake of saying that it has been done. So all these measures have been introduced as part of the Delhi State Environmental Committee. And the whatever is being by our Honorable Minister of Water, because we are targeting under his leadership about 70 to 80% water security by 2024 in Delhi. And water treatment, availability of water through maximum treatment and reuse of water in Delhi, and other than reducing the potable demand for water in Delhi, so that the net actual demand, the people who are not getting the potable water should be able to get potable water in Delhi without any problem. So efficient STPs are being installed not only by Delhi Jal Board and various areas, but all the big projects who can afford to install such STPs and reuse the water at the project site are being encouraged to do so, and it has been insisted and it has been shown to them that it is in terms of payback period within 5 to 6 years. The cost of the investment is returned to them, and so that they are encouraged to follow such measures. So these are the measures being taken by us. So with these words, I'll thank and wish the ASSOCHAM all the best in their initiative of and choosing such a wonderful topic for today on Water Day. My greetings to all of you on the Water Day, and I hope Delhi will be able to provide potable water to all its citizens sooner with the initiatives of Delhi government. Thank you very much. Over to you, Neeraj.
Thank you, Vijayji, for this wonderful knowledge sharing and wonderful message, sir. Thank you so much. Now, Ajayji, I would request you to please address the gathering. Meanwhile, we are receiving message from Mr. G's office that he is joining. So, Ajayji, over to you.
Thank you very much, Neeraj-ji, and greetings to all the viewers once again on the occasion of World Water Day, and hearty welcome to this program, a virtual session on clean water for Delhi, challenges and solutions. This year's World Water theme is groundwater, making invisible visible. And as all of us know, groundwater is a very vital source. Hello? Hello?
Yeah,
Audible, sir. You're audible.
Yeah.
Audible.
Sorry. I thought got disconnected. So this year's World Water Day theme is groundwater making invisible visible. And as all of us know that it's a very vital resource that provides almost half of world's drinking water requirement, 40% for agriculture, and about 1/3 of the water which is required by the industry. In India, more than about 90% of groundwater is used for agriculture, and the balance 10%, which is roughly about 40 billion cubic meters, about 85% of it is used for domestic drinking purposes. Thus, 80% of India and its 1.4 billion population depends on groundwater for drinking water and irrigation. Now, that's the importance of groundwater, and I'm very happy that the theme for this year's World Water Day is to make this invisible, because it's below subsurface and it is not visible, and it faces a lot of torture and it faces a lot of stress because of rampant use and misuse of groundwater. Now, despite these facts, groundwater being invisible, human activities, climate variability is putting increased pressure on it as a resource. This includes rampant pollution of groundwater due to agricultural runoff, industrial pollution, and also a lot of untreated sewage from communities. In the panel discussion, we discussed about some of these contaminants in water which are not measured, like agricultural runoff, pesticides, insecticides, dangerous and toxic industrial chemicals, heavy metals. It's important to ensure that while this is arrested, but it's a tall task, because most of this industrial pollution is caused by medium and small scale industries who do it rampantly and who do not even treat the effluents at a primary stage. So we have a big challenge with respect to the groundwater getting contaminated. At the same time, we heard Vishaka ji talking in the panel discussion, saying that Delhi, for example, depends or gets water from Yamuna, and 85% of its drinking water consumption is from Yamuna. While only 2% of Yamuna, she said, passes through Delhi, it bears the brunt of 70% of total pollutant load. So the challenge is not only the surface water, but as we discussed, as we're talking about the theme of world water, is also about the groundwater. Therefore, it is not surprising because of this rampant pollution of groundwater sources that we find that when we analyze groundwater, it is excessively contaminated with arsenic, fluoride, nitrate, iron, and brackishness. Brackishness because the levels are going down, and water being such a good solvent, it absorbs calcium, magnesium, and makes it more hard or more brackish. Compounding this contaminant problem is also the presence of fecal coliforms, making groundwater unfit for drinking and most industrial purposes. I'm very happy that ASSOCHAM on the event and on the occasion of World Water Day has appropriately titled Clean Water for All, with emphasis on the Delhi NCR region, which actually uses close to about 350 to 400 million cubic meters excess groundwater than what is naturally recharged. So the delta between excess withdrawal, which is almost about 390 to 400 million cubic meters, and the recharge which happens is about 310 million cubic meters. So there is close to about 100 million cubic meters, which is excessively drawn from the ground and without getting replenished. So when architect Vijay Garg talked about mandatory norms to see that groundwater recharge is an essential part of given a permission or a license to construct any facility, I think that's a very welcome move, because we need to replenish Delhi's groundwater. We need to bridge this gap of nearly about 90 to 100 million cubic meters due to excess water use from the ground and replenishing it. While saying this, I would also like to share with you a very interesting statistics. And I read a very nice article where, through the initiative of Delhi government, almost about 40 acres of land near Palia along the Yamuna plain was identified for natural recharge. And during this last 3 years, since the time this project has been put up, the groundwater level has risen by close to 2.5 meters. Now, this is a fantastic thing that has happened within the city of New Delhi, and it provides a lot of hope for natural replenishment of groundwater and bringing up the level instead of the water levels going down by about 0.5 to 1 meter every year. This sort of initiatives of natural replenishment of groundwater with natural water and to bring up the level is very, very good. And this would bridge the gap between excess withdrawal and the shortage in terms of discharge. So this sort of collaborative efforts amongst all stakeholders to manage and conserve the resource is also equally important. While on the industrial side, as we also spoke in the panel discussion, technologies are now becoming more affordable for even the medium and the small scale industries to adopt them, not only to become self-sufficient because they could use industrial effluents as a source of water, as an alternate source of water, but they would stop polluting groundwater or surface waters with their byproducts, which is an industrial byproduct. At the same time, I would also say that it is not only liquid waste management, but solid waste management also, which is important. Because as we go towards a $5 trillion economy, we are going to be more industrialized. Our population is expected to grow. Our demand on fresh water sources is going to increase, and we are also going to produce more waste. So when we treat sewage, we also produce solid waste, which is in the form of sludge. Apart from that, there is a municipal solid waste, which is also generated by households. So technologies are today available to combine liquid and solid waste and convert them into fresh water, almost 90% water. 10% the balance is converted into energy and organically rich fertilizer. And that's how one is able to derive resource from complete waste management. So such sort of models at a decentralized level can also improve the sustainability quotient of a city like Delhi, which in the next 30 to 40 years is predicted to become the world's largest city in terms of population. And I think if you put all these measures into place, we would also see that not only is the world's largest city, but it's also the world's most sustainable city to live in any place in the world. So with these few words, I would now end my talk, which I thought I would bring into account all the elements to make Delhi more sustainable in terms of managing solid waste, liquid waste, industrial as well as municipal, groundwater recharge, and make Delhi the best sustainable city in the world, much before we become the most popular city in the world. Thank you, ASSOCHAM, for these thought-provoking discussions this morning. And we all will now look forward to hearing Mr. Satyendar Jain, our Honorable Minister of Health and Family Welfare, to talk about his initiatives in towards improving the sustainability, particularly with respect to water, as we hope that he comes in to address all of us on this very important day. Let me wish all of you once again happy World Water Day, and also once again a hearty welcome to this program.
Thank you so much, Ajayji. Thank you so much for the wonderful talk you have delivered. Thank you so much. Will you please give me the presenter right? Meanwhile, I mean, as soon as the minister will join, meanwhile, I'll share some information with the audience. So, yeah, okay. Just a minute. I'm just sharing some slides with you. Okay. So, friends, as discussed with you, as I mentioned, that World Water Day is not basically a day to celebrate. I think this is a day to think over certain issues. So, friends, as I was reading the newspaper in the morning, so I mean these two informations attracted my special attention. So because I'm a energy auditor and associated with various sustainability projects. So sustainability, green building certification, energy efficiency, water efficiency, this is very much close to my heart. And I have worked over 250 green building certification projects. And friends, in all our green building certification projects, we emphasize more and more on water efficiency, So as discussed by our eminent speakers, that water recycling, water reuse, conservation of water is extremely important. So in buildings, what we do is, by means of various water conservation measures, water reuse measures. So what we do is we, recommend the buildings, the developers, to treat the water through STP or ETPs, where is applicable. So, and with this treated water, we recommend to reuse this treated water in the toilets for flushing, for the car wash, for the cleaning purpose, for the gardening, for the cooling tower, makeup water. So, by this means, we can save around 50 to 60% of potable water demand of the buildings. So, these are very, very simple and straightforward process. Like in buildings, if we are installing STPs, in industries, we are installing ETPs, and if we are using dual plumbing in the toilets, we can reuse this treated water in the toilets for plumbing, for flushing, in the gardening, for car wash, for cleaning purpose. So this way we can save approximately 50 to 60% of the potable water. And if you are doing rainwater harvesting, reuse of that treated rainwater, for landscape demand, or for our potable purpose, I think we can again save around 15 to 20% of potable water demand. So we just need very small amount of potable water. Meanwhile, it's good that our Honorable Minister has joined. Let me stop my presentation. Just a minute. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar. Thank you so much for joining, sir. We can understand that you are extremely busy. You are handling various subjects, and on this busy day, you have shared some time with us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining once again. So, sir, just take 5 minutes and we'll introduce all our speakers. We have with us Shri Deepak Sood ji, Secretary General, ASSOCHAM. We have with us Dr. Lalit Khetan ji, Chairman, Central Region Development Council, ASSOCHAM, and CMD Radico Khetan. We have with us Shri Ajay Popat ji, Chairman, ASSOCHAM National Council on Water and President, Ion Exchange. Architect Vijay Garg ji, Chairman, Delhi State Expert Appraisal Committee, Department of Environment, Government of NCT, Delhi. Shri Kamal Verma ji, CEO, Water Business Group, Triveni Engineering and Industries. Architect Vishakha Jha, Senior Environmental Specialist, Water and Environment Team, National Institute of Urban Affairs. And Ms. Padma Priya, Partner Public Sector, Grant Thornton Bharat Limited. So welcome all the speakers and welcome Honorable Minister. Now I would request Shri Deepak Sood ji for the welcome address. Deepak ji, are you there?
Yes, namaskar. Thank you very much, Neeraj. Namaskar, Satyendar Jain ji, Honorable Minister ji. Thank you so much. I really am. I'm always so enthralled by looking at the amount of responsibility that you shoulder. I am, as therefore, and the amount of work that you're doing is commendable. So thank you very much for joining us this morning to this very, very important session. Garmiyan jaldi aa gayi hain. I believe there is a lot of traffic on the roads and everything is open and about. I think it is very, very good times to see Delhi being back on its feet and people moving around. But अच्छे से लोग बाग घूम फिर रहे हैं and it's economic time and activity has started. So I think it's good times where we are, Honorable Minister. I have with me many other speakers also, and I would particularly like to name Dr. Lalit Khetan ji. And Ajay ji, who are part of this, and thank you, Mr. Vijay Garg ji. We heard you, and it was really, really encouraging to listen to all the things that you shared with the members and everything. I think this day is a very, very important day, and my personal take is it is the World Water Day. I think we should start our thinking today and finish it the next day, next year, for evening prior, because pani ke bina kuch nahi hoga. Tazi hawa, taza pani is something which is the most important thing, and the way things are moving, each one of us have a responsibility towards ourselves, our neighbors, our fellow citizens of Delhi and beyond Delhi, कि हम हर चीज को responsibly behave करें. So, Minister, I would like to really, really applaud the way things are happening in Delhi, the way one is really seeing the change. And I can actually tell you that a lot of Delhi fellow citizens of Delhi talk about it. And thank you for your leadership. The Honorable Chief Minister has really done commendable work, and I think each one of us applauds that thing that has been achieved. I think there are a lot of things which one can talk about beyond water. I'm talking about healthcare, I'm talking about education, I'm talking about mohalla clinics that are being done by you. And most importantly, this whole piece of power that you have handled so beautifully, and the services that are kind of reaching out to the citizens on the ground. So thank you very much. And I'm sure a very big congratulations to you and your party for having done commendably in Punjab. So I'm sure that would be something which we will watch and partner with you, and let us know what we can obviously do in Delhi, but also what we can do with you in Punjab. I think Delhi has now become a city of aspirationally, people want to come and live here. There are facilities, there are things. And as you put out your plan for a modern Delhi of 2047, I think it's going to be a global city which people would like to refer back to. So my compliments to you on those. I'm sure challenges are part of life. एक चैलेंज को हम डील करते हैं तो नया चैलेंज अगले दिन सुबह खड़ा होता है. एक वेज कोविड का आया, दूसरा आया, तीसरा आया. आई थिंक सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी हम सब लोगों को ये देखने में है कि हम लोग caution or precaution ko chhode na, and so that we don't have to go back to our lockdowns once again. And we need to be open, and we need to be out, we need to be working, and we need to be creating economic activity. So thank you once more. ASSOCHAM आपका एक partner है, कभी भी कहीं पे भी हम आपके साथ हैं. Thank you very much for joining us, and back to you, Neeraj.
So much, sir. Thank you. I would request Shri Ajay Poparji, Chairman, National Council on Water and President, Iron Exchange Limited, for the thematic address. Ajay ji.
So good morning, and thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. I've come from Mumbai, where we get about 80 inches of rainfall. And we really did not know what is water shortage, because, for years I have grown up on the basis of 24/7 water. But when I look at the city of Delhi, which is about 1/4 of the rainfall, but blessed like us, we are blessed with pristine lakes. You are blessed with Yamuna River to meet 85% of your water requirements. But what pains me is the fact that while our lakes in Mumbai are pristine, they are away from industrial habitation, they are away from communities, and they remain pristine. It pains me to know that just about 2 to 3% of Yamuna passing through Delhi bears the brunt of 80% of its pollutant load. And what a humongous task the Delhi administration has to cleanse up this water and provide it for drinking purposes for its community. So you are doing a wonderful job. You also made water reforms possible in terms of pricing water through a telescopic effect, through which over a period of time, water would deserve the value and the respect by paying the right adequate prices. At the same time, unlike where I come from, where we do not have sewage treatment plants, almost 60% of the city's sewage is being treated in Delhi, and there are plans to rehabilitate existing sewage treatment plant, build new sewage treatment plant, and use this treated sewage for industrial purposes as well as other things. The other heartening thing which I see about Delhi, sir, is that you have made, which I mentioned earlier before you came, is that the experiment which was carried out on the Palia, which receives on the 40 acres of land, where natural water was reharvested, and you've seen that the water level going up by something like about 2.5 to 3 meters. So from an outsider perspective, you're making so much developments and in terms of managing water better, that it makes us think that maybe we should have you manage our water resources, which are abundant, in a far better way than what we have been doing. But also it makes me realize that when you have little, you value it much. And when you have too much, you don't value it as much. But if you look at the holistic scenario, it's a scarce commodity. And if today we are in the regime of wars and something, few years back it was said that if there is going to be the next world war, it's going to be on water. Fortunately, it should not happen. But if you really see, today water is as important to what oil was in the 20th century. So I'm bringing in the element of water, war and oil in the context of these things. And I bring in an outside perspective to see how Delhi manages its water better through experiments on groundwater recharging, pricing water at different economic levels, treating its sewage, and also investing in public-private partnership to see that the whole sustainability on water is improved. So with these few words and on this very important day where the theme is making groundwater, which is invisible, visible, and treating this water with all the respect it deserves, I welcome you, sir, to hear from you your ideas in order to make Delhi not the most populous city by 40, but the best sustainable city much before that, beginning with the way you are managing this scarce water resource. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay ji. Thank you for the thematic address. Now I would request Dr. Lalit Khetan ji, Chairman, Central Region Development Council of ASSOCHAM, and CMD Radico Khetan for the industry address. Lalit ji, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Khetan, you are.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Actually, I feel myself honored and privileged to have Shri Satyendar Jain ji here with us today. He has just come from the Honorable Chief Minister's office. But when I see his portfolio, by the time I start reading from one end to the other end, 50% of the portfolio, I forget, my God, how does a single man can manage so many portfolio and so efficiently? Sir, my compliments. As far as I am concerned, I am only handling one company called Radico Khetan, and I am fully busy in that, sir, and I have nothing, I can't see anything else kind of. But for you, starting, sir, from family welfare, industries, home, PWD, power, water, urban development, irrigation, flood control, and whatnot, oh my God, sir, I don't know how you must be not only a superhuman being, you must be what we call the Batman and the Superman, somebody like that, sir. But my compliments, my best wishes to you and to your whole team, sir. We also have Mr. Popat, we have Mr. Deepak Sood, Secretary General, again a very efficient person from ASSOCHAM, and all the leading panelists who have already had their discussions today, and very, very detailed, in-depth discussions, sir. And sir, then I would like to welcome all the other eminent authorities, delegates, and media persons for joining us at this very interactive session. Today, as we know, is the being World's Water Day. I would like to appreciate Delhi government's effort to improve the water supply system and provide safe drinking water to all residents of the capital. Clean water to all has been a priority to the Delhi administration. Now is the time to spread education about significance of safe drinking water and the need to manage its supply system sustainably. Sir, I am a man, not very young man, so I shifted for business to Delhi. करीब सर मैं 50 साल पहले शिफ्ट हुआ. उसके पहले मैं कलकत्ते में रहता था. 50 साल पहले न तो टेलीविजन था या कोई खास सोर्स ऑफ एंटरटेनमेंट था. तो सर हम लोग का फैमिली का मेन एंटरटेनमेंट होता था कि वीकेंड में हम लोग कहीं पिकनिक में जाते थे. एंड कलकत्ते के बगल में देयर इज वन दक्षिणेश्वर, जहाँ रामकृष्ण परमहंस जो वहाँ पे विराजते थे. There we used to go, we would cook our food. And the highlight was, sir, कि वहाँ जो रिवर गंगा, उसमें हम लोग स्विमिंग करते थे, उसमें नहाते थे. मन में लगता था गंगा जी में गए तो पवित्र हो जाते थे. 50 साल पहले मैं जब दिल्ली आया तो यमुना जी का भी वही हाल था कि इतना बढ़िया था, इतना क्लीन था. कभी इमेजिन नहीं कर सकते कि पानी गंदा भी होता है क्या. और उसी को अगर हम आज देखें तो अपने बच्चों को या खुद को कभी कोई गलती से अगर यमुना में चला जाए और स्विमिंग या पानी में डुबकी भी मार ले तो ये लगता है पता नहीं क्या क्या बीमारी उसको हो जाए. सर, it is a sad state of affair, and if we see this, sir, this is there because perhaps the right kind of action in the past has not been taken. We take one example of River Thames, sir. That Margaret Thatcher, at one time River Thames was very dirty, sir. So when Margaret Thatcher went at the other places and she found that the rivers are so clean, so she took her mission कि मेरे को river Thames को clean करना है sir. And in a short span of time, the river was clean, sir. I would give that example. I'll compare that, sir, with you, Mr. Jain. आपने भी एक मिशन लिया है through the Chief Minister that by 2025 आप उसको यमुना जी को clean कर देंगे, sir. Sir, we have no doubt that you will be able to clean river Yamuna by that time, sir. Second example, again my personal example, which most of us would also feel, कि कभी भी हम लोग विलायत जाते हैं, मैं अगर चाहे जर्मनी जाऊं, चाहे स्विट्जरलैंड जाऊं या यूके लंदन जाऊं, शुरू में लगता था इन लोग हम लोग को वाटर ही नहीं देते हैं. तो मैं नीचे फोन किया रिसेप्शन में, मैं बोला यू हैव फॉरगॉटन टू गिव वाटर टू अस, प्लीज सेंड 2 bottles of water. तो वो बोले नो यू डोंट नीड वाटर बिकॉज यू कैन ऑलवेज ड्रिंक टैप वाटर. बट सर यहाँ की इतनी आदत पड़ी हुई है कि उसके बाद भी मैं पैसा खर्च के बॉटल मंगवाया, मैं वो पानी पिया, but tap water नहीं पिया. That is the mental psyche, sir. I am quite sure in some time to come that psyche would change because यहाँ भी हम लोग tap water से पानी लेकर सर हम लोग पीने लग जाएंगे, sir. We also understand, sir, that the Delhi government has done an excellent work of supply of water in all the areas. जब Honorable Chief Minister ने first time लिया in 2013 अरविंद जी, तब उन्होंने कहा था ये बात कि मेरे को पक्का भरोसा है कि कुछ समय बाद में लोग टैप वाटर से पानी पी सकेंगे. And sir, we have full faith and confidence not only him but on you, sir, because you are handling it directly and the way you handled COVID, sir. Then also, it was brilliant, sir. Now, sir, as per our knowledge, Delhi government has taken many initiatives to mitigate the water crisis in the capital. So the first effort was to solve the crisis in a city which has a serious water scarcity created due to the mismanagement and inequitable distribution of water. In addition to that, government also encourages conservation of water resources by those householders who would consciously cut their consumption and reduce their water bill also. Most importantly, it facilitates the provisioning of piped water to those areas that are currently water stressed to have no piped water supply network. आज सबरी मैंने पेपर में पढ़ा सर that 18 झुग्गी को आप लोग टैप वाटर पाइप वाटर देने वाले हैं but by March next year. These are very encouraging things, sir. Sir, you have inaugurated an underground reservoir for 2.95 crore liter, another for 2.68 crore liter capacity. These initiatives are expected to provide benefit to 8.45 lakh residents. Additionally, Delhi has taken steps towards treating and reuse 100% wastewater for horticulture, irrigation, road cleaning, industry and construction. These are very major steps. The government has already announced a 6-point action plan to clean the Yamuna by February 2025. Sir, at last, I would like to say that this should be the collective effort by all stakeholders to save our tomorrow and our next generation. I feel it is the moral duty of all the individuals and business houses to come forward and support government in cleaning and adequate water supply water mission. Here, sir, I would like to give example of our own company, Radico Khaitan. हम लोग का mother plant sir रामपुर में है उत्तर प्रदेश में. Sir, we have taken an area of 900 square kilometers and which is a population of 10 lakh people. And there, sir, we are recharging the water through the pipes and everything else, sir. We are also, there is a Kosi river which ultimately goes to Ganga river. उसको पूरे को हम लोग recharge कर रहे हैं, sir, at a cost of 25 crores. And we are lucky that in our partnership, we have got the art of living of Shri Ravi Shankar ji. Actually, उनसे मैं मिला तो वो बोले ललित जी आप कुछ पानी वानी का काम करिए. Then I connected with them and now we are doing, sir, of 25 crores, including the government, sir. So I also feel that in case the other industrialists can also join in this kind of mission in Delhi and other places, so it can go a long way. And as said by Mr. Deepak Sood also, that ASSOCHAM a very strong body which has all the connections and mediums. If business houses in coordination with government and Chamber of Commerce, does adequate efforts, I think many crises will be solved, and it is going to be a great support for our population. Sir, we would like to know from you a time-bound planning of the government that by when you think we can really get tap water which we can drink. We would like to answer in the end. For everyone present here, I would like to conclude by saying, कई जीत बाकी है, कई जीत बाकी है, कुछ हार भी बाकी है, कई जीत बाकी है, कुछ हार भी बाकी है, अभी तो जिंदगी का सार बाकी है. यहाँ से चले हैं नई मंजिल के लिए, यहाँ से चले हैं नई मंजिल के लिए, and particularly I'm talking about Punjab also, sir, where you just got into this with water thumping majority, sir. My compliments आपको, मैं नमस्कार करता हूँ जी, that a party like आप started so much later, and then you see you have beaten Congress and you have beaten them, sir, super hollow, which shows how much public has confidence in you. So sir, on that I'd like to conclude my शायरी again. कई जीत बाकी है, कुछ हार बाकी है, अभी तो जिंदगी का सार बाकी है. यहाँ से चले हैं नई मंजिल के लिए, यहाँ से चले हैं नई मंजिल के लिए, यह तो एक पन्ना है, अभी तो पूरी किताब बाकी है. थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू एंड गॉड ब्लेस अस सर. जय हिंद.
थैंक यू ललित जी, थैंक यू सो मच, एंड यू आर वेरी मच राइट सर. ये इंडस्ट्री और गवर्नमेंट दोनों का मिला जुला सहयोग है जिससे कि हम हमारे टारगेट्स को अचीव कर सकते हैं. अब मैं ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा और मैं इनवाइट करना चाहूंगा हमारे ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर श्री सत्येंद्र जैन साहब को फॉर हिज एड्रेस. ओवर टू यू सर.
नमस्कार. सबसे पहले तो पानी के ऊपर जो आपने ये मीटिंग रखी है इसके लिए मैं आपको धन्यवाद दूंगा कि आपने इतने इंपॉर्टेंट इशू के ऊपर ये कॉन्फ्रेंस रखी है. देखो, जो पानी की बात स्टार्ट करते हैं, सबसे पहले मुझे वाटर साइकिल याद आता है. 8th क्लास में पढ़ा करते थे कि पानी कैन नॉट बी प्रोड्यूस, कैन नॉट बी वेनिस्ड. जो पानी है उतना ही रहेगा, ना कम होगा ना ज्यादा होगा, वहीं रहेगा. साइकिल बताया गया था कि बारिश होती है, बारिश या पहाड़ों के ऊपर बर्फ पड़ती है, नदियों के होते हुए वो समुद्र में चला जाता है, समुद्र से फिर भाप बन के वापस उड़ता है, फिर वापस पानी जाता है. ये साइकिल कंटिन्यूस साइकिल है, चलता रहता है, चलता रहता है, चलता रहता है. हम लोग क्या करते हैं, इतना पानी हमें सब भगवान देता है, उस पानी को हम गंदा कर देते हैं, वेस्ट करते हैं, खराब करते हैं. तो ये हमारी आदत है कि हम जो चीज हमें रिसोर्सेज लगता है कि अबंडेंस में मिलता है, तो उसको हम बहुत ही जल्दी खराब करने की कोशिश करते हैं और फिर कहते हैं हमारे पास है नहीं. देखो, छोटा सा एक मैं डाटा बताऊंगा आपको. हिंदुस्तान के अंदर जो बारिश होती है, एवरेज बारिश है 119 सेंटीमीटर, मतलब 1 मीटर से भी ज्यादा एवरेज रेनफॉल है इंडिया के अंदर. और हम अगर पर हेड निकालें, अगर एक आदमी के ऊपर हम निकालें कि कितनी रेनफॉल पर ईयर हो रही है, पर डे हो रही है, दैट कम्स आउट टू बी 7 क्यूबिक मीटर. यानी हर आदमी के हिस्से में 7000 लीटर पानी, बारिश का पानी हर साल इस हिस्से में पर डे के हिसाब से आता है. 7000 लीटर पानी कम नहीं होता कि एक दिन के लिए आपको हाउस होल्ड के लिए 200 लीटर काफी है, 150 लीटर काफी है. अगर एग्रीकल्चर भी लगा लें, हम सब काम भी लगा लें, तो 7000 लीटर कम नहीं है, परंतु फिर भी हम कहते हैं स्कैरिसिटी है, कमी है, हमारा पानी नहीं है. कारण सबसे बड़ा तो एक तो ये है कि जैसे पे डे होता है ना, कि जब तनख्वाह मिली तो पे डे है 1 तारीख और 2 तारीख को सब कुछ खर्च कर दिया, फिर 3 तारीख, 4 तारीख, 5 तारीख से कहने लगे पैसा नहीं है, पैसा नहीं है, पैसा नहीं है. तो भगवान ने जो सिस्टम बनाया था वो बनाया था कि भाई हम आपको साल के कुछ महीने बारिश देंगे, 3-4 महीने बारिश देंगे और 7-8 महीने तक उस पानी को अपने चलाना है. हमने उस पानी को बर्बाद किया और ज्यादा से ज्यादा कोशिश करके, आप देखिए हिंदुस्तान के अंदर जो सैकड़ों साल से, हजारों साल से सिस्टम चल रहा था, हमारा सिस्टम था कि पानी जो बारिश होती थी तो संभाल के रखते थे हम लोग. उसको कोशिश करते थे कि पानी वाटर बॉडीज में जोड़ होते थे और तालाब होते थे, तालाबों के अंदर इकट्ठा रहे और पूरे साल चलता रहे. उसके अंदर तो हमने उनको भर दिया, उसके ऊपर घर बना लिए, उस पर कब्जा कर लिया. और जो बारिश होती है हम नालों के थ्रू, नदियों के थ्रू तुरंत उसको कहते हैं आज ही निकल जाए. आप, मैं इवन दिल्ली का एग्जांपल लेता हूँ. दिल्ली में जो पहले सॉफ्ट सर्फेसिस थी, ओवर द पीरियड सॉफ्ट सर्फेस खत्म होती जा रही है, सब जगह बिल्डिंगें बन गई, पेमेंट्स बन गई और रन ऑफ जो वाटर है वो कई गुना बढ़ गया. अब क्या होता है कि बारिश का पानी बढ़ गया, ये उसको तुरंत निकालो, पंप लगाओ, उसको तुरंत नदी में डालो, तुरंत निकाल दो. तो हमें सोचना पड़ेगा कि जो पानी है वो रेयर कमोडिटी है जिसको भगवान ने आपको दिया है, उसको ऐसे फेंकने की जरूरत नहीं है, इसको हमें संजो के रखने की जरूरत है. अब मैं दिल्ली के अंदर सबसे पहले तो आपको 2 चीजें कहना चाहूंगा जो हम करने जा रहे हैं. तो इसमें पहली चीज तो मैं कहना चाहूंगा, यमुना नदी को 2025 में नहीं, हम 2023 में साफ कर देंगे। अभी कई स्पीकर्स ने कहा कि भाई यमुना नदी जो है, पूरे यमुना नदी का 2% दिल्ली में आता है और 90% जो गंदगी है वो दिल्ली से जाती है। वो डाटा पे तो सर कंटेस्ट कर सकते हैं कि सही है गलत है, मुझे आइडिया नहीं है कि, बट मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि दिल्ली से जो आप कह रहे हैं 90% भी है या 98%, वो 0% हो जाएगा। और विद इन आने वाले 2 साल के अंदर, 2 साल भी नहीं, अब तो 2 साल से भी कम रह गए, 3 महीने निकल चुके हैं। तो दिसंबर 2023 मतलब दिसंबर 2023 तक हम यमुना नदी को पूरी तरह से साफ कर देंगे। और साथ ही साथ जितने भी दिल्ली के नाले हैं जिनमें भी गंदा पानी आता है उन सबको भी हम साफ कर देंगे। और उसके लिए मैं कॉन्फिडेंट हूँ कि कई सारे लोग ये कहते हैं ये हो नहीं सकता है, आप देखिएगा हम करके दिखाएंगे। और मुझे चाहिए कि आप लोग चाहें तो अपने स्टडीज लगा सकते हैं, पता करने के लिए बेंचमार्किंग कर सकते हैं कि भाई दिल्ली के अंदर यमुना में कितना पोल्यूशन आ जाता है और 1 साल बाद कितना होगा और 2 साल के बाद कितना होगा, चेक कर सकते हैं। और मैं आपको इन्वाइट करूंगा जिस दिन यमुना साफ हो जाएगी कि आप यमुना के किसी भी स्टेज पे मेरे साथ डुबकी लगा सकते हैं, इतना हम पानी साफ करके दिखा देंगे ओनली इन 2 years। सेकेंड टारगेट, फिर मैं बताऊंगा छोटी छोटी चीजें हम क्या कर रहे हैं, कैसे कर रहे हैं। सेकेंड ये है कि दिल्ली के अंदर जो पानी है, 1993 में हमें पानी का समझौता हुआ था। जो पानी 1993 में हमें मिलता था आज भी उतना ही मिलता है यमुना नदी के थ्रू। आबादी 4 गुना हो गई, 3 गुना हो गई है दिल्ली की, पानी उतना ही है, आबादी 3 गुना हो गई है। अब मैं दूसरी बात ये कह रहा हूं कि दिल्ली के अंदर हम 24 घंटे पानी देंगे। अभी मुंबई से आयन एक्सचेंज वाले बता रहे थे कि भाई वहां पे 24 घंटे पानी आता है। मुंबई के अंदर लकी है कि वहां पे समुद्र के किनारे भी है, बारिश बहुत ज्यादा होती है, लेक्स है उनके पास, काफी बड़ी लेक्स हैं। दिल्ली के साथ कई सारे ड्रॉबैक्स हैं, बट आने वाले 3 साल के अंदर हम 2025 तक दिल्ली के अंदर सभी जगह पर 24 घंटे पानी हम करके दिखा देंगे। और सिंपल सॉल्यूशन क्या है कि वाटर साइकिल। हम क्या कह रहे हैं, जो आपके घर में पानी आ गया, आपने उसको यूज किया, यूज करने के बाद उसको सीवर के थ्रू वेस्ट कर दिया। जो वेस्ट वाटर है उसको ट्रीट करने के बाद सबसे पहला चीज हम कर रहे हैं कि वेस्ट वाटर को, ज्यादातर वेस्ट वाटर को हम रीयूज करेंगे फॉर हॉर्टिकल्चर पर्पज। दिल्ली के अंदर बहुत सारे जंगल हैं, बड़े बड़े ग्रीन बेल्ट्स हैं, इवन फार्म हाउसेज बहुत है दिल्ली के अंदर। हम सबको ले पाइपलाइन बिछा रहे हैं, तो ट्रीटेड वाटर को रीयूज करेंगे। उसके 2 फायदे होंगे। पहला कि हॉर्टिकल्चर के लिए आपको एनफ वाटर मिलेगा जो कि 24 पूरे साल मिलता रहेगा। दूसरा कि आपने जो बोरिंग लगा रखे हैं, पानी नीचे जमीन से निकालते हैं, वो बंद हो जाएंगे। दिल्ली का वाटर टेबल जो डेंजरसली लो जा रहा है, आने वाले समय के अंदर धीरे धीरे वो बढ़ता जाएगा। हर साल 2 मीटर 3 मीटर 4 मीटर बढ़ेगा। तो आने वाले 5-10 साल के अंदर दिल्ली के अंदर जो आज से 50 साल पहले होता था, वाटर टेबल फिर से वही आ जाएंगे। तो दोनों फायदे होंगे। और पानी, ट्रीटेड वाटर को हम बहुत बड़ी तादाद में हम यूज करेंगे, दोबारा से यूज करके दिखाएंगे। और जो बारिश का पानी मैंने बताया था कि जो बारिश का पानी आ रहा है, बारिश के पानी को हम, जैसे पल्ला में हमने एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, एक 20 एकड़ जगह लेकर यमुना के किनारे, उसमें हमने बाढ़ के टाइम पे जब बारिश आती है, तेज बारिश होती है, तो उस पानी को हमने जमीन के अंदर पर्कुलेट कराया और वो एक्सपेरिमेंट सफल रहा है। उसको आगे हम बढ़ा रहे हैं। तो अंडरग्राउंड वाटर को रिचार्ज कराएंगे बारिश के टाइम पर और उसको पूरे साल निकाल के लोगों को क्लीन ड्रिंकिंग वाटर हम दे सकेंगे। इस पे हम काम कर रहे हैं। तो पानी के लिए और सीवरेज दोनों जुड़े हुए हैं कि यमुना नदी साफ होगी तो हमें रॉ वाटर मिलने के लिए संभावना बढ़ जाएगी और पानी की सप्लाई हम लोगों को देंगे तो क्लीन वाटर मिलेगा, तो हेल्थ सिस्टम भी ठीक रहेगा। अभी क्या हो रहा है कि बहुत सारे लोगों को जितना पानी चाहिए उससे शायद कम मिल रहा है। हमारा ये मानना है कि जितना भी पानी चाहिए आपको हम दे देंगे, ठीक है। आप ज्यादा यूज करेंगे तो आपको पे करना पड़ेगा। टेलीस्कोपिक सिस्टम बनाएंगे कि जिसमें कि कम यूज करने पे कम पैसा देना पड़ेगा, ज्यादा यूज करने पे ज्यादा पैसा देना पड़ेगा। तो लोग ज्यादा जो पानी यूज करेंगे तो उनको दूसरों को कंपनसेट करना होगा कि भाई आप ज्यादा यूज कर रहे हैं तो यू शुड कंपनसेट अदर्स। और पानी जो है, देखो हमने जितने भी हमारे एसटीपीज हैं, अभी का काफी पानी ऐसा होता है कि सीवेज वाटर जो है सीधा नालों में चला जाता है। उन सबको हम टैप कर रहे हैं। 100% दिल्ली के अंदर जितना भी पानी सीवेज वाटर है पहले हमारे एसटीपी के अंदर जाएगा, एसटीपी से ट्रीट होगा, उसके बाद ही नालों से होते हुए यमुना नदी के अंदर जाएगा। कोई भी एक बूंद भी पानी ऐसा नहीं होगा जो डायरेक्टली नालों में जा सके। हम सारे को टैप कर रहे हैं। आने वाले 6 महीने के अंदर 100% वाटर को हम दिल्ली के टैप कर लेंगे। इसके अंदर हमने ये भी किया है कि बहुत सारी जगह हमारे सीवर नेटवर्क हमने डाल दिया है, बट सीवर नेटवर्क डालने के बावजूद लोगों ने कनेक्शन नहीं लिए, सीवर कनेक्शन नहीं लिए और नाली में पानी डालते हैं। तो सबको हम अपने कॉस्ट के ऊपर, दिल्ली सरकार ने मुख्यमंत्री सीवर कनेक्शन योजना बनाई है, हम अपनी कॉस्ट के ऊपर हर घर को कनेक्शन दे रहे हैं। जिसने कनेक्शन नहीं लिया हुआ उसको सबको हम कनेक्शन दे रहे हैं। कई जगह पर सीवर लाइन नहीं थी, उस सारी सीवर लाइंस के हमने टेंडर कर दिए हैं। पूरी दिल्ली को 100% सीवर होगा। ये अगले आने वाले 15 महीने के अंदर 100% सीवर लाइन हम डाल देंगे पूरी दिल्ली के अंदर। कोई हिस्सा नहीं बचेगा जहाँ पे सीवर लाइन ना हो। इसी तरह जो हमारे एसटीपी है उनकी कैपेसिटी को डबल किया जा रहा है, ताकि जो इतना सारा पानी आएगा सबको हम ट्रीट कर सकें। आज हम 100% वाटर को ट्रीट नहीं कर रहे हैं, हमें 900 mgd वाटर ट्रीट करने के लिए जरूरत है। 900 mgd हम सप्लाई करते हैं, तो 700 mgd ट्रीट करने की जरूरत है, और हम 500 के करीब ट्रीट कर रहे हैं। अपनी कैपेसिटी को हम डबल कर रहे हैं, 1000 mgd के करीब लेके जा रहे हैं, ताकि हम जब सप्लाई बढ़ा देंगे तो पानी के ट्रीटमेंट की भी कैपेसिटी हमें ज्यादा जरूरत पड़ेगी। तो वो भी आने वाले 1.5 साल के अंदर हम कैपेसिटी को एनहांस करके डबल कर देंगे। दिल्ली के अंदर 2 ड्रेन्स हैं, जैसे एक नजफगढ़ ड्रेन है, उसके अंदर 100 mgd वाटर हरियाणा से आता है, वो भी गंदा पानी है। पहले झगड़ा चल रहा था, हम कहते थे कि वो साफ करके दे, वो कहते थे हमारा तो पानी गंदा होता ही नहीं है, हमारी इंडस्ट्री से तो बिल्कुल साफ पानी निकलता है। तो उस झगड़े को हमने खत्म कर दिया है कि उनकी इंडस्ट्री से साफ पानी आता है या गंदा पानी आता है, उस पानी को दिल्ली में एंटर करने के बाद हम खुद ट्रीट करेंगे, सो दैट कि यमुना नदी में जब पानी जाए तो वो जिम्मेदारी हमारी है, वो हरियाणा की नहीं है। ऐसे ही यूपी से भी 50 mgd वाटर आता है, जो कि मतलब वहाँ की इंडस्ट्री के थ्रू आता है, उसको भी हम ट्रीट करेंगे यमुना में से गिरने से पहले। इंसिटू ट्रीटमेंट भी कर रहे हैं। इंसिटू ट्रीटमेंट के लिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं, नजफगढ़ ड्रेन के अंदर फ्लोटिंग वेटलैंड हम लगा रहे हैं, फ्लोटिंग एरिएटर्स लगा रहे हैं, उसके साथ साथ हम वियर्स बना रहे हैं। और इन सारे सिस्टम को लगाने से पानी को क्वालिटी को इतना अच्छा करेंगे, जो इंटरनेशनल टेस्ट है कि जिस पानी के अंदर मछली जिंदा रह सकती है उस पानी को कहते हैं ठीक पानी होता है। हम आपको दिखाएंगे कि यमुना नदी के पानी में मछलियां रह सकेंगी, उसका डीओ लेवल कितना हम करके लाएंगे। क्वालिटी ऑफ वाटर विल बी सो क्लीन कि आप मछलियों को देखेंगे दिल्ली की यमुना नदी के अंदर, और नालों के अंदर मछलियां पैदा हो सकेंगी। ये हमारा पूरा एम है। और टाइमलाइन भी मैं बता रहा हूँ कि टाइमलाइन 10 साल या 20 साल की नहीं है। आने वाले 2023 दिसंबर तक हम यमुना नदी को, सारे नालों को साफ करेंगे, और 2025 तक दिल्ली के हर घर को हम 24 घंटे पानी दे के दिखाएंगे। उसके लिए हम लगे हुए हैं, संकल्प हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि एसोचैम और बाकी इंडस्ट्री का जो भी सहयोग हमें मिलेगा उसको हम वेलकम करते हैं। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद आपका। और सर आपकी जानकारी के लिए हम बता दें सर, एसोचैम का एक ग्रीन बिल्डिंग सर्टिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम है, जिसके तहत हम बिल्डिंग्स को ग्रीन करते हैं, बिल्डिंग्स को एनवायरमेंट फ्रेंडली बनाते हैं। ये प्रोग्राम 3 राज्यों में रजिस्टर्ड है बिल्डिंग बायलॉज में, और यहाँ भी हम आपसे सहयोग चाहते हैं कि आप इन प्रोग्राम्स को रजिस्टर करें। इसमें हम बिल्डिंग्स को कैसे उनके वेस्ट वाटर को ट्रीट करना है, कैसे ड्वेल प्लम्बिंग के थ्रू टॉयलेट्स में यूज करना है, कार क्लीनिंग में या और क्लीनिंग पर्पसेज में यूज करना है, या एयर कंडीशनिंग में यूज करना है, ये बताते हैं। और ऐसा करके लगभग बिल्डिंग का, एक पूरे अपार्टमेंट का, हाउसिंग सोसाइटी का करीब 50% पोर्टेबल पानी बचाते हैं। तो जैसा अभी आपने पूरे दिल्ली स्टेट के लिए बताया, हम ऐसा बिल्डिंग्स के लिए करते हैं, और डेफिनेटली जब बिल्डिंग्स, अपार्टमेंट, सोसाइटीज ऐसा करेंगी तो इसका कंट्रीब्यूशन ओवरऑल पूरे स्टेट को भी मिलेगा सर। तो इसमें हम आपसे सहयोग चाहते हैं सर।
जरूर जरूर।
थैंक यू सो मच। नाउ आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट आर्किटेक्ट विजय गर्ग जी for the vote of thanks and the way forward. Vijay Garg ji, over to you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Architect Satyendar Jain. सत्येंद्र जैन साहब ने आपको बहुत अच्छे से बताया कि दिल्ली में पानी जो whatever he says, he means it and he will do it. And we have seen it in the past. He has delivered, and he doesn't want to say something, and he performs. And that is what our friend Neeraj was saying, that we want to reuse, recycle, and all that, and dual pumping. All that has been made mandatory in Delhi. In all the big projects, I've already informed that Delhi government is doing that initiative. All the big building projects have been mandatorily been asked to do this. And thank you, Honorable Minister, for coming over and making everybody aware the initiatives of Delhi government in making Delhi sustainable and creating sustainable development. Being an architect, your leadership to the city of Delhi in terms of urban development and water and conservation of resources and energy is a huge contribution. And I thank you on behalf of the ASSOCHAM, Green Building Council, Water Council, and all of us here. Thank you, Honorable Minister Satyendar Jain ji. And I thank Dr. Kamji for wonderful insight on industry's contribution, and Dr. and Shri Deepak Soodji for offering ASSOCHAM's help to Government of Delhi and organizing such an event for the benefit of the public at large, and making water as a focused issue in today's time. And Shri Ajay, who's heading the Water Council at ASSOCHAM, thank you, sir, for making an initiative and helping people to understand what water is, and water is a scarce resource, and water is an important component in everybody's life. And as Honorable Minister said, water is available, the management is required. So water is not scarce. What is amply available, we need to manage it properly. We need to implement policies in a better way. And then I thank Kamal ji, Vishakha, and Padma ji for a wonderful panel discussion and making everybody aware. And I'm sure this discussion will keep continue, and we will continue the deliberation for making Delhi a better city to live in, a sustainable city, and where everybody will have water, fresh water to drink 24/7, as committed by Minister Satyendar Jain ji. And I'm sure everybody will see by 2024, Delhi will be fully water secured, and everybody will have. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Now, I would request IT team to please close the program. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Please go ahead, sir. We are live now.
Thank you so much. So, good afternoon, speakers, dignitaries from industry, friends from the press or media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are organizing a webinar focusing on FPOs. We all know that Government of India, with the help of the state governments and various agencies, have taken a key initiative for developing the FPOs in the states, which would help in developing the entire agri-ecosystem in our country. Today, we assembled here to have key inputs of our experts, which would help us to draft a way forward, leading to development of farmers and FPOs in our country, especially in Eastern India, with Odisha in particular. With these words, we'll now commence our today's session. May I now request Mr. Ranjan D. Sen, Chairman, ASSOCHAM Agriculture Sub-Council East, to kindly deliver his welcome address. Mr. Sen, over to you, please. Thank you.
Even?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you, Ravi Sekaji. I, on behalf of ASSOCHAM, welcome all of you to this important webinar and discussion on strengthening FPOs for Atmanirbhar Odisha and Atmanirbhar Bharat, and publication of the Odisha FPOs booklet on strengthening the ecosystem. Before I welcome all of you, just to give you a brief on the objective of this program, which is one of the key objectives of the current government at the center and also the state, and also our Honorable Prime Minister of India. The FPO and FPC program was first encouraged under NABARD by Government of India almost 10 years back, and was promoted by as resource institutions who were empaneled for doing so. But the program, though, was conceptualized to promote producer organizations promoted by the farmers, did not have the requisite thrust in terms of infrastructure development. With fundamentally strong initiatives like doubling of farmers' income, etc.,